Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2020 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack with the Widebody. Now, I know I've already gone over a 2020 Scat Pack, but I wanted to drive a Widebody like this, pretty much like right after I drove a regular Scat Pack, just so that I could see if there was actually like a difference in terms of how the car drives. So, as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the car, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Scat Pack. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get into the video. Under the hood here, we have a naturally aspirated 6.4 liter Hemi that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 485 horsepower and then 475 foot-pounds of torque, with fuel economy being 15 around town and then 24 on the highway. Now, going over things on the front end, this took the old hood from the old Hellcats. I think it's just kind of funny that they just keep taking things from like higher end cars and putting them on the lower down packages. But anyways, we've got the full LED lights right there. You can see the little rings. Those are definitely very distinctive at night. You've got the little RT emblem, Challenger emblem on the other side. And then you've got the full front splitter. That is the guard for the front splitter, so that is taken off at the time of delivery. But it actually looks kind of good with this car, kind of the black to yellow contrast. Coming around to the side here, we've got 20-inch rims with 305mm tires, and that comes with this wide body package. I love the look of the rims. They kind of have this sort of like funnel shape where it goes in. It's a really neat look. You got a little Scat Pack 392 badge right there, and then you got the fender flare that comes all the way around. A really mean, aggressive look on this car. And then here is kind of like a full-on side view of the wide body. Here's the key fob for the Challenger. You've got a couple functions. You got your unlock, your lock, remote start, and then the trunk release Dodge logo on the back. Obviously, we've got to do the remote start because that's what you guys all want to hear. You just gotta love that V8 sound in the morning. Don't worry, you'll hear more of that in a minute. Anyways, you press that, that'll actually unlock the trunk. You've got to do the rest of the work yourself, which I think is kind of funny because the Chargers, it just pops right up, whereas these, you actually have to lift it up yourself. Anyways, looking at the back trunk space here, it's pretty decent. And if we move all of this out of the way, there's this little latch you can pull, and you've got like the fix, the flat kit, all that kind of stuff. Extra storage under there as well. These seats, you can fold them down, and then when you are done, just kind of grab it right there, throw it down, you're good to go. Now, going over the rest of the back, I love the tail lights on this. And then the look from the back, you almost can't really tell it's a wide body from there. Now, if you do the 3/4 angle, you definitely can. I think the front end is probably the best, just appearance-wise on this wide body. But anyways, you've got the new rear spoiler that kind of curves like over on the car. It's an interesting look on the Challenger. Keyless entry, so that locks it, and then to unlock it, you just got to slip your hand in the back, and then the little thing will pop right up. And then they do have the blind spot monitoring, and well, here's the fun part, like always. So we've got to get the seat belt out of the loop, and then you just kind of have to throw the seat forward, and then obviously you have to use the little automatic thing. And you know, if I have to deal with doing this, then you guys have to deal with watching me kind of wait for the seat to go forward. But as always, throw the key here, and well, let's step back. Okay, kind of getting smushed, but now we're back here. I actually am going to pull the seat back. Obviously I can't adjust the part, but I think my feet would be like right here if the seat was all the way back, so I could sort of fit back here, but not really at the same time. Headroom back here. Oops, gotta hit the seat. Headroom is okay. I can pretty much sit upright. I feel like I have to kind of like slouch down just a little bit. You got vents back here, and then it is all suede just like in the front, so they didn't really cheap out on the actual seat aspect. Still get little cup holders back here. And then finally, the armrest, you get leather padding. So I think they do expect you to put people back here. It's just a little bit cramped. Here's our door panel on the Challenger. I like this stitching that they've kind of added on the new Dodges. It's just a nice little touch. And we got more leather padding down here and then more there. So leather here is definitely softer than what's at the top right there. Here's your window controls, another one of the door latches, speaker for the Alpine sound system. And then here are the seats themselves. So you got the little Scat Pack logo on them. The actual bolsters on them are really nice, and I love the Alcantara inserts. This is probably how I'd get it, is with the Alcantara inserts. Now you do have the little adjustments for the seat. Here's your pedal layout, light controls right there, and then the steering wheel adjustment is going to be automated. Here's one more look at the front before we pop in. To start up the Challenger, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, push the push start, It'll say 392 there in the center, and well, everything will come to life. Here's the steering wheel on the Challenger. We do have the Dodge logo in the center, cruise control on that side, and then all the controls for the center screen, voice commands. You have the paddles for the 8-speed automatic, shift gears yourself. Rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel, and then this part of the steering wheel is grippier, whereas this part's smoother. They kind of do that across the board with the Dodges, I've noticed. And then you got the little stalk for the windshield wiper, and then also for the turn signals. RPMs are on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed, and then you've got this little center stack. The only thing I think is really cool is that little performance section. I've gone over it quite a few times though, but we'll kind of just quickly scroll through that. Ooh, 87 miles an hour. Anyways, you can see the fuel economy, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much everything here on the little center stack for the wide body. Here's the center touchscreen. Let's go over the backup camera first. So there is the resolution on the backup camera. It does have little trajectory lines that'll turn with the steering wheel. Now with the rest of the backup camera, here's that little map view on it. Heated and cooled seats are also a thing on this car. It does have a dual zone climate that you can control on the touch screen. And then the other cool stuff is like the SRT modes. So you can basically put it into valet mode, or you can have it in your regular mode. So it's cool that you can kind of go between the two. And then you've got the Srt Dashboard. Again, got to take it in out of valet mode to go through all that stuff. So I'm gonna figure that out. Anyways, other than that, you do get the performance pages and everything. And well, let me do my magic and get this out of valet mode. Look at it, it's no longer in valet mode. I am a magician. Now, there is the different ways in and out of the modes. And if you guys want me to make like a secret video on what the code is for the valet modes from cars from the factory, let me know in the comment section below and I can do that, because there's kind of a secret to figuring it out, because I didn't ask anyone. I should have filmed the whole thing, because I literally just figured that all out by myself. Anyways, yeah, you've got the different drive modes. And then the Srt Dashboard, that's something that I really like, is this new dashboard they do. So it shows you like the launch control setup, you have line lock, you can go to the performance pages. It's just this nice like giant page that has shortcuts to all of the performance applications on the Challenger. Down here, obviously, push button start to the side, but we've got our analog controls for the radio. You've got like your launch control button, your parking sensor, the different drive modes, climate controls. Here's that shifter for the 8-speed automatic. It does have that manual mode, so you can shift it with this bump stick, or you can use the paddles. I prefer the paddles, but I understand that some people like using that still. Here's the cup holders full of keys. And then we've got the actual center console, which opens towards the driver, lined with felt. It's definitely nice on the interior of that. And then we have the glove box with some shipping papers in it, but there's kind of like a full view of that. Up top here is the little sunglass holder that pops down. This one is equipped with a sunroof, just lets a little bit more light, and also you can add more air to the cabin. Fully black headliner to match the black bottom of the car, so yeah, it all matches. Now we can look at the stitching that is on kind of rubberized stuff, but that's okay. And you don't have to see my ugly face, guys, because the window sticker's off. So, got the base price for a Scat pack. Now, this one obviously has the wide body, which you can see is $6,000. But you get those 305s and the 20-inch rims, adaptive suspension, and it's just cool. You get a bunch of extras on that wide body package. This one's pretty much fully loaded, so you can see it's got all the other packages on it. I don't really think there's any other option you can add. That's cool. They've added black aluminum wheels, but again, $1,200 is pretty expensive. Anyways, there is your MSRP from the factory with all of the options that this car has. Let's take this wide body out to see how it drives. Now, before we set off here in the wide body Challenger, let's talk about the visibility. So visibility of the hood, it's actually pretty easy. It's cool that you can see the little hood scoops in it. I think it's just a nice little look. Visibility throughout the mirrors is okay. They do have blind spot monitoring, which is gonna help out. You can see visibility throughout the other mirror in the window. And then visibility throughout the rear, a little bit on the cramped side, but again, the blind spot monitoring helps out with that. And now let's set off in the wide body Scat pack. Ooh, kind of jumps on you just a little bit, just saying. But yeah, the turnings, it seems like it's pretty good so far. And I mean, actually just like driving this around, maneuvering it, it's not that much more difficult than a standard body Challenger, I've noticed. Now first setting off here, the ride quality is really smooth. I just drove a Hellcat Red Eye yesterday, and this definitely drives smoother than that Hellcat Red Eye. The Hellcat was just a little bit too stiff for my preference, but maybe it was also because I had it in the track mode, and, or no, I didn't have track mode, I had it in sport mode. But yeah, this is actually pretty soft. You could still consider this kind of like a GT cruiser from a suspension standpoint. In terms of the road noise that comes through, yeah, of course you hear the V8. I'll go over these little things to kind of hear a little bit more. It's pretty well insulated. I mean, obviously I'm hearing the rain on the outside of the car, but wind noise is really minimal, and this turns really well. Like the handling on it's pretty good. We're gonna go to the drive modes. We're gonna put it over into sport for this next little part. We don't want to go into full-on track mode or anything because it's raining, and yeah, I want to live after this review, just saying. Actually making a turn here. Turning again on it's pretty good. We're gonna get the mild part of the acceleration here, just to kind of see how it's in the sport mode. It's shifting really quickly. Like the shifts are just boom, boom, boom. Pretty much instantaneous on that once you put it over into the sport mode. But yes, we are gonna go over into manual mode, and yeah, we're gonna see how that kind of acts. Now making another turn here, we're gonna be in the manual mode. Ooh, that sounds good when it shifts. It kind of makes these interesting sounds on upshifts. And yeah, I mean, this has more than enough power. This kind of feels a little bit slow because I just drove a Hellcat Red Eye yesterday, but that's not to mean this is actually slow. It's just because I'm a little bit messed up after that Hellcat Red Eye. The downshifts on it are good. It has so much torque, and these shifts, they really are pretty much instantaneous. I mean, as soon as I'm clicking the shifter, they're pretty much happening just right away. And you guys can kind of see that on camera as I'm downshifting. Oh, downshift a little bit too low there. Yeah, I mean, this is a great transmission with this car, and it is quick for sure. I'm not losing traction on the rain, which is nice. Yeah, that's fun. On upshifts, it does really well. But yeah, I mean, to wrap things up, if you want a like really cool looking muscle car, just something that is insanely quick and just a really good package overall, something that also can kind of like double as a GT cruiser, then this Scat Pack, I cannot talk, is a great option to go for. And I mean, at just over $50,000, you're still like 30 grand off of a wide body Hellcat Red Eye. So I mean, yeah, it's a really good value. And there we have it, everyone, the all-new 2020 Dodge Challenger with the wide body package. I just wanted to thank you all very much for watching, and again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram in Sandy for providing us with a Challenger. Check out their inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a new Dodge. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. I will see all of you in that next video.